Hi guys, welcome back to the Women's Talk Show with Elise. So today I have got my lovely friend, a very, very special friend, Rebecca, on the podcast. Some of my customers will recognise Rebecca because she used to work at the salon. But now she works in Guiseley at a great salon called Bottega, hairdressing. So we're going to talk about some experiences that Becky's had in her personal life. It's a really good conversation that we're going to have. It's covering some mental health. So Becky, thank you for coming on and welcome to my podcast.
It's nice to be back here.
I know. So, do you want to share with everybody your diagnosis first things first?
Yeah. I've always been open and honest about my diagnosis.
Yeah.
I got diagnosed 2 years ago. It's called Bipolar type 2.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different versions of it, like Bipolar 1 being slightly more serious. But yeah, I got diagnosed 2 years ago. I've probably had it since I was about 15, if I'm really honest.
So kind of lived with it undiagnosed.
Yeah, but it's just got progressively worse as I've got older. I mean, a lot of people, in celebrity world have got bipolar, kind of quite theatrical, creative people. I mean, when I was younger, I was always wanting to do performing arts and dancing and stuff like that. But I'd go from that to being really low and depressed. That's kind of the symptoms of it, really.
So take us back to kind of like maybe your earliest memories of knowing that something's not right, or even like experiences of kind of what went on or what signs people can look out for, really.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm really honest, like I say, when I was about 15, and my friends always used to say, "Oh, Becky, you're great, you're so much fun." My mum and stepdad passed away. Sorry, I'm getting confused with my dad. My biological father passed away 4 years ago. But I was adopted by my brother and sister's dad called Phil. Him and my mum were married, and they split up when I was 10. And they went to live in America. And I think that split that happened then, I'm sure for any kids and stuff, it's hard when the parents are going through separation. So
I think 10's a tricky age as well. It's just before kind of puberty and periods and stuff like that, and emotions and hormones are everywhere. And I suppose if you had some kind of underlying issues like bipolar that were undiagnosed, I suppose you feel them feelings more, don't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So like me and my sister, we used to have to go to Texas to see my stepdad in 6-week holidays, which were an amazing experience.
Wow,
I mean, how many kids get to do that? We'd go for the whole of the 6-week holidays.
Love that.
And so we'd get all the quality time with my dad. But then obviously coming home to know that we won't see him for another year, I'd go into this deep depression.
Really?
But it was just like holiday blues, in it, I suppose. You go away. But the depression used to last for a while, and then I'd come out of it again, and that's kind of what's happened more and more as I've got older. So no one really recognised that then at 10, kind of thinking that they were out serious. Maybe thought that you were a bit of a moody child, I suppose. Moody teenager, especially when I went on into my teens. It was just like, I remember having to have like a week off school when it came to I think it were a year before I started my GCSEs. Really? So I'll have been like 15. And I remember my mum said I just got really stressed out with the thought of having to do exams.
All right,
But this were like a year before, and thinking back, like that probably were a bit of a breakdown.
Overwhelmed by the thought of having to do it.
And it's like they weren't even coming for another year, but it's like I just got all worked up and stuff about them, and so that were then. But then I've got a little boy called Rico.
Not so little anymore, Becky.
No, not so little anymore. He was 2.5 when I worked here. I just can't believe it.
I can't believe 2 years in his high school. That's crazy.
But Rico's going to be 9 in July this year. He's amazing. He's my little saviour. I never thought I'd have children because I were always really scared of the labour and stuff like that. It always put me off. But it came along 2017, July. you know, everyone said that you can get like postnatal depression and stuff. I never did, because I was just on a complete high. Like, I just loved everything about him, and you know, but then going on, so that was in the July.
When you had him?
Yeah, when I had him, and I was just on elation really at first, like everyone probably is. And then when it got to like November time, I can just remember, because I was just running on empty.
Yes, general sleepless nights.
Crying,
the crying, just being a mum.
Yeah, I mean, I did have a salon back then. I were in partnership with 2 other girls. And we all ran a salon in Shipley, hair design team. And I had to go back to work when I was 8 weeks old.
And I know that feeling, because I was saying.
Well, exactly,
It's a lot for us, isn't it?
Yeah. You
shouldn't do it.
No.
Quite simply, but...
Yeah, if I could go back now, I'd have thought, no, do you know what, I need to take this time off, but I didn't.
We can't afford to do, like, I couldn't afford to do it. I had to,
I don't know how you did it either. Like,
oh, God, honestly,
Yeah. So, if I'm honest, that's where my problems started, because you know, obviously it takes a lot out of a woman having a baby and stuff, but then to have to go back to work when the baby's 8 weeks old, it's like my mum helped me out loads, but then come the Christmas, I went back 3 days at first, but then come the Christmas I was working full time looking after a newborn, and working full time, and I just
it's just not good. Like, if you look back now, would you think that that's okay? Because it's not. But we just do what we've got to do, and I think sometimes we feel so bound to as clients as well.
Oh yeah, because you don't want to lose your clients. I mean, also, clients are amazing. They become friends and they do understand, but they still want the hair doing at the end of the day.
They'll have to go somewhere else if you're off a certain amount of time. They can't wait any longer than 3 months, can they?
No,
really.
No.
So it's that pressure of having to go back, but then, you know, you're working, but then you've got housework, tea to cook, and a baby to look after.
It's like life doesn't stop, does it? Even when like life events happen, like bereavements or whatever, you know, life doesn't stop still. It's like,
look at me, my dad died and I were at work next day, but now when I think back, I just cannot believe it.
I just can't
believe I did that.
The amount of pressure you must have been under then, like, because
people pleasing, Becky. I knew that I'm sure it were Eid time or wedding season. I had you know, a lot of ladies booked in, and I knew that I were quite busy for a couple of months in advance, so I just didn't know where I would put these clients if I cancelled them. And it's not about I want, you know, it wasn't like scared of, oh my God, what about if they never come back? Because I knew that wouldn't be the case, but I think the pressure on myself, where am I going to get them in? I'd have to work every night in an evening and loads of Sundays.
Yeah, it's like you might have a lot of time off at the beginning, but then where am I going to put them in?
Literally, And I think that's what it was, the people pleasing. And what a stupid mistake I made. I walked in, told my staff. And then I said, just don't mention out to clients. Let's just carry on as normal. But I were really not in a good place, and it's just, you know, something you've got to look after yourself.
I can totally get where you're coming from, because, like, and I'm going away from the point a bit, but last year I had a bereavement with my half brother. Sadly took his own life. I mean,
but it does connect into you.
Again, I sometimes share a bit too much information, but it was no secret of that happening. But I found out, because my biological father passed away 4 years ago, and me and my brother shared the same father.
Well, he died around the same time as my dad, didn't he?
Yeah, well, literally.
Well, my dad died 1st of August 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And your dad passed away, were it?
I think it was October. Yeah, because I remember seeing that.
Well, we went through a bad time together,
actually.
What you've
gone through, we were just to say, like, we used to work with each other and stuff, and we had that bond anyway. We've always stayed friends. I just remember looking and thinking, wow, you know, I was coping.
But you just do, don't you? I think you just do. You do. I don't know where you find your strength from, but you just do.
Because I got told, obviously, because our dad had passed away, so technically I was Bradley's next of kin on the thing.
Sorry, Becky, did your dad pass away He passed away before Bradley, didn't he?
Yeah, so it was 4 years, like when just around time when your dad passed away. My dad had pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
Sadly got diagnosed in the March, and then
tough.
Yeah.
Really tough to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that were a lot to go through and stuff with family, and I were the eldest as well, so I felt like a lot of it were on my shoulders.
Yeah.
But then obviously when it happened to my brother, like the police came and told me about what had happened and stuff. And like you just said about being back in work, that were on the Tuesday, I were back in work like the day after, on the Wednesday. I remember my friend were coming in for her hair doing, and she didn't, I might have told her or something, I can't remember, but when she came in and I were there, like, I think everyone just thought, I just didn't talk about it. No. Like, I think it's just best to just withdraw ourselves into it.
I don't understand why we do that. Like, I think because I've gone through that experience and I know what I've done wrong, I think I'm in a lot stronger place now to just say, shut that shop.
Yeah.
Shut the shop. Yeah. Never mind have staff in, just shut the shop. Yeah. Like, shut the fucking shop.
This is an emergency.
I mean, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I still can't get over it.
Yeah.
But, you know, you learn by it. I think grief, no one can prepare you for it.
Oh, gosh, no.
That's one thing I will say. You just don't know how to deal with it.
No.
And I suppose every person that's close to you that does die, you probably do deal with it differently as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just you deal with it the same for each person. I bet it's very different. So I suppose we're not geared up to just think...
Yeah, I mean,
time off, you know?
I really felt more for you in that time as well, Elise, because although it's awful, it's absolutely awful whichever way people lose anybody, but like because my dad had cancer, we kind of knew what was coming. You
prepared yourself a little bit.
Whereas with you, like, it was a complete shock for you.
I were on my way back from Brid.
Yeah.
Brooks in car, and it's funny, my dad died in Blackpool, and that morning we were like, where should we go, Blackpool or Brid? And I chose to go to Brid instead of Blackpool. And I were on my way back and we got the call, so I'm like, it was just horrendous. Brooke was screaming because she thought I'd said her dad's died.
Oh, gosh.
So it were like a total mix-up. So Brooke's absolutely like going, it was just the oddest experience ever.
I bet.
I just felt numb.
Yeah.
And just really... empty, and I just didn't know how to feel, actually.
It's how people process
I didn't cry straight away. I were in total, like, someone had I can't explain it.
Yeah.
I didn't cry till I got to my family, my brothers.
Yeah, because then it's like real.
Oh,
then
God, when I got
like...
to my dad's house, you know, where we all were brought up and stuff, it was just,
Gosh.
But it's a funny one.
Yeah, you just don't know how you're going to deal with it. And grief, like bereavement, is a massive trigger for bipolar.
Right. So
So that was a point that we're trying to get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then I were going.
I keep saying to you before we did this, I said if I go off of the point, bring me right back.
No, but you know, I think everything we've spoke about, even though it's not that bit wasn't bipolar, you know, related.
Yeah.
It's still covering. You
can
know,
see like the thought processes behind why.
Yeah.
Why
so do you find Bradley passing away was like the turning point to where things kind of... Actually, we've skipped a bit. So with Rico, you had a turn, you had an episode.
This is what we're coming up to. We're going back,
guys.
We're going back. So this was 2017, December.
Yeah.
So it's Christmas time. I'm in the salon, back full time. Rico's 5 months old. It got to Christmas Eve. I mean, it would have had to have happened on his first Christmas.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, I finished working on the 23rd of December, and after all that busyness, my body just crashed.
Yeah. You were on that high, fight and flight, just get through it.
I've not slept in about 5 days properly, and I think...
And that's the trigger as well. This is quite an important one to talk about with bipolar. A massive trigger for psychosis is lack of sleep, innit?
Yeah.
Your sleep, guys, is something
it's the most important.
It's so important for your brain to just quieten down, relax, and repair itself from the flight and fight. But if you don't sleep, that is one of the main things of why the psychosis and the illusions come.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I was still with Rico's dad then, and he was really good at doing the night feeds and stuff.
Yeah.
He was. And he had him on a Saturday when I was working and stuff. But yeah, that obviously, I was still, because I'm his mum, I was still wanting to do that.
It's the instinct, innit?
Yeah, and I just...
Angela missed him.
Yeah,
wanted to feel him and hold him and just be a mum.
Yeah. So that happened. So I finished work on the 23rd and I just didn't sleep that night at all. And I say I woke up on 24th, but I'd not slept anywhere. And I've always been I'm a Christian, I'm into my faith. And the only way I can describe it is because it was Christmas Eve, I thought, I want to go to church today, I fancy going to church. I think Rico were at my sister's, and I just had this thing in my head about getting him to church. So I kind of wanted to drive over to my sister's, but I think my partner at the time knew that I wasn't right and didn't want me to drive.
Right, so there were signs up before the event happened.
Yeah. So I basically...
Is it manic signs?
Yeah, this was kind of going into the mania side of bipolar, and this is another thing actually I want to touch on because the doctors did misdiagnose me. They put it down to postnatal depression, which it wasn't, and they also put it down to depression, just regular depression. If you give somebody antidepressants that's on bipolar, that's got bipolar, underlying bipolar, it will send them into mania.
So basically that's what's gone on.
As well as me having the no sleep, it was also through misdiagnosis.
Very dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
They put me on 25 milligrams of fluoxetine, which is also known as Prozac. They put me on that 2 weeks before. So I'd been taking this, and it's obviously... it just sent me into this mania. Yeah.
And was this the first time you think that you've experienced mania then? Proper
full-blown mania.
So that was 2017.
Yeah.
You experienced that.
Yeah. So I managed to, I think, that's what I did. I went to my godmother's house because my godmother lives not far from where I lived with Rico's dad. So I got to her house and I just wanted her to pray with me. Because I just felt scared. That's the only way I can describe. I just felt really, really scared. I didn't know what was going on. I just thought I need to get to Doreen's house. And she prayed with me, made me feel better, rang my mum, explained that I was there. My mum came over to get me. I wouldn't get in the car with my mum because I was going from being safe to feeling scared, and it was just so scary. But my mum's got epilepsy.
Right.
And when I was younger, she I used to see my mum having fits and convulsions, which were really scary. And I think all that trauma came back to this time. And so I was, one minute I was being okay, and then next minute I'm saying, I'm not getting in the car with you. I'm not getting in the car. You can't drive. You've got epilepsy. And I finally got, they took me over to my mum's, and when I was there, all I was thinking about was Rico. Where's Rico? It's getting night time now. It's getting darker. Yeah. Obviously, it's Christmas. Everybody's rushing around getting presents and stuff. And I just thought, Rico's at Laura's. I need to get there. Yeah. I didn't want to harm him. I just wanted to keep him safe.
Yeah.
And that was just the mania. And I was like going into thinking all sorts of crazy stuff, like it were World War III or, because there were, I think I snuck out of my mum's house and I actually ran down to my sister's because I thought I just need to get to Rico.
And it was just irrational.
Yeah.
Because the brain just don't want to stop when you're in that mania, does it?
Yeah, I remember running down. My mum lives in Shipley and I ran right down. My sister lived at Nabwood at the time, so it's quite a way. Yeah. And I just remember running down, to get to Rico. And then when I got there, I was fine, at first. I knew that it was safe. But because of the no sleeping and because I was still in a manic state, my sister was so good. She was amazing.
She's been amazing throughout, the different experiences as well, hasn't she?
Absolutely. She's a mental health care social worker now, and she got into doing her job through, the inspiration for what happened to me. Really? Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Yeah, she actually works with mothers and babies and stuff now. She's kind of got that, taken on that role. But going back to that, that's when I got there. She said, look, I'm really sorry, Becky, but I've phoned a crisis team. I hope you don't mind. And I knew in my head that I wasn't well.
Yeah.
And I was like, please ring them, because I just want something to knock me out so I can go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because my brain was just so wired. It was like, I just needed to sleep.
And I suppose because it was your first proper experience of going through it, you don't really know the signs at that point. No. I think it's only like now.
Yeah,
you're in the position that you are now. You've educated yourself a lot. Yeah. You've obviously been through a couple of tough, times that you've kind of managed to understand it. Yeah. And feel it when it's coming on. Yeah. Obviously medication as well.
Well, this is it. I mean, I just feel like I've been banging my head against a brick wall with the doctors. Yeah. This psychiatrist that I'm seeing now, it's the third different one. And it's like maybe fourth different one. I mean, the first two diagnosed me with depression. And like I said, the first medication that they started me on was fluoxetine. And then the second medication, even though I'd gone in and I've told them, they'd seen what had happened.
It'll be all on your notes as well and stuff.
The doctor then said, oh no, it's still, I'm going to put you on this. It's called sertraline. It's, really good. And I said, yeah, but I've read up on it. I said, and I don't think I've got normal depression. I think it's either bipolar or cyclothymia, which is like a milder version.
Actually.
Yeah, cyclothymia.
Is it like BPD?
It's all got the same. It kind of, you have the same symptoms, but they're not quite as harsh.
Yeah, so you don't get that really intense high and that really intense low.
And I've got another friend that's got bipolar type 1 and she's just amazing.
Oh, really?
She knows the illness inside and out. When she actually diagnosed me back then, she thought it was cyclothymia.
I just think it's so important to start understanding what you've got.
Yeah.
Some people say, we don't like labels and things like that, but you need a label.
Sometimes you need a label
to understand what's going on.
And then you can get through it then.
Yeah. 100%.
So the second medication I went on was sertraline, and I was on that for 6 months, and that were better. It was better, but they started low, put me up to 150, and then I had another breakdown.
Really? And when were this?
This was in May. So this were like, I'd had the first one in the January, and then in the May that same year. Then. But that one, it's really weird because with bipolar, you can have what's called delusions of grandeur, where you feel amazing.
Yeah. So you get that, though. Yeah. You get that, don't you?
Yeah. So the first one was the psychosis. I'll just touch on that as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It was the psychosis. It was actually called postpartum psychosis. Yeah. And that's what a lot of women that have had children, that have had babies, can get when the babies get to about 5-6 months. Yeah. And I would. Just at that time. So, there's actually a documentary on it by Louis Theroux called Mothers on the Edge.
That's really interesting.
So if anyone's ever interested in learning about it, you can watch that because it just, I watched that not long ago and it really scared me because some of those women don't come round from it.
Really?
Yeah, and at least I did.
Yeah, absolutely. It is scary because when we think of kind of psychosis and things like that, it is a really frightening thing to have going on. Yeah. When you're in it, you don't feel as frightened because when you're on a high, you're on top of the world.
Well, this is going back to the delusions of grandeur because the psychosis, that were obviously really scary, and that were by far the worst breakdown I'd had.
The one in May?
The one in January.
All right,
that was the first one. Yeah. And then they put me on the sertraline. And I had more mania, but I felt I was really important. Yeah. Like I looked fantastic. I did my hair, put my makeup on. I thought I was Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
Sometimes someone once said, oh, you look a bit like Meghan Markle with the dark hair.
That's it,
thanks. That were it. I thought that I was Meghan Markle. Yes, I'm royalty. Do you know what I mean?
So Becky, let's go on to like the latest episode that you've had, because I know that you were hospitalised through that.
Yeah. So this one happened last year.
Yeah.
Again, it was triggered by bereavement. yeah, I was hospitalised at Signet Hospital. May. Yeah, it was like end of April, beginning of May. I was in there for 17 days.
Yeah.
It's usually 28 days in places like that. But I was doing so well, so I got out after 17.
So good.
But yeah, it was the best place where I needed to be at that time.
Yeah.
Just to try and get my medication right and stuff like that, because again, I've been let down that many times and misdiagnosed. I mean, I got my diagnosis 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So this should have been prevented then.
Especially if you've been experiencing symptoms from the age of 10. It's a long time, Becky, for you to be undiagnosed and have all these different breakdowns.
Yeah.
But I think with this latest one, like the worst one, like today, it were
by far the worst one. Again, I've not slept in about, I was trying to plan the funeral and stuff, and then
a lot of pressure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure from all sides, whilst trying to be a mum, trying to work and do all them things. And again, I just crashed and burned. Yeah, and then it was just horrific. Yeah, you know, that's the only way I can describe it. It's the longest time I've ever been away from Rico. Yeah. I had a lot of shame with it, because obviously I wasn't in my right frame of mind. So when they first took me to hospital, I went to Airedale. I thought I were in Linfield Mount at the time. I wasn't. I mean, there were funny parts to it, because, again, I were in a bit of the psychosis in the mania, and I thought I were really important. Yeah. So I shared a video when I was first hospitalised. Again, I'd not slept properly for about a week. Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking I were part of Marley family and stuff.
I love that. Honestly, like, none of this condition is a joke. No. But when I saw that video, and you were telling us that your granddad's Bob Marley.
Oh gosh.
I was smiling.
Do you know?
I just thought, I can't wait to have a fucking laugh with Becky about this. When she comes out of this mania, I said, seriously, well, what's she on about?
What's she on about? I remember putting it up. I can actually remember putting it up, and someone from work saying, "Are you okay?"
Clearly fucking not.
Because 1 minute I even say on video, 1 minute I'm running away with fairies, next minute I'm coming back down to reality. But my thought process behind that was, so my dad was mixed race. Yeah. He was half Jamaican. You know, my grandma were English, my granddad were from Jamaica. My dad used to have dreads years ago.
Got a look of Bob, hadn't he?
A lot of people compared him to Bob. Yeah. So yeah, I thought I was Marley family. I knew that my dad was my dad, but I thought Bob Marley was my
Surely I've got to be related to Bob Marley.
So, and then even, I mean, it was so embarrassing when I came round from it. I was like, oh my gosh, wow. Yeah,
but that ain't you. It's the psychosis.
It's just showing people what this illness, what your brain can go to. I mean, and it can happen to anybody.
Of course it can.
That's why I want to bring...
Even people without bipolar can get psychosis, you know, lack of sleep, grief, too much stress, too much kind of going on, you know, at the same time, not handling it properly. Yeah. So it isn't just psychosis. Sorry, it's not just bipolar that can bring that on. But obviously, unfortunately, for someone that does have bipolar, it's quite a big part of it when you get into that really big high, isn't it?
Yeah, so it would just...
So this, like you say, we can laugh about the funny times, but I remember you putting that video up, and, you know, again, then after, because obviously I spoke to you throughout the whole of what were going on.
Oh, everybody were amazing. You know, the support, I mean, even, obviously, I had all the shame with sharing it to Facebook, because if I'm a bit of an open book, some people call me social media queen, because that's, I've always been the same like that.
I don't think there were any shame in it. I thought it was so courageous.
The thing that I was, you know, sorry about was I did share a lot of other people's business in that video, which I should never have done, but I wasn't in the right frame of mind at all.
I don't think it were meant, you didn't mean it, you know, in a sense of you weren't meant to harm anyone and upset anybody.
No, absolutely not.
You know, on one hand, if you're saying your granddad's Bob Marley.
I know.
And then, you know, saying a few things that might have been a bit insensitive to people. I think people will understand that you weren't okay at that time.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's obviously...
But don't beat yourself up about stuff like that, Becky.
I have done.
Because the thing is, you're one of the most beautiful people I know. And I always say to everyone, Becky is just one of the nicest people I know. And I really mean that. And it shows. It shows. Are you getting tearful? You getting
a little bit.
You are, and it's the amount of support you've got around you.
My family. That's
honestly,
one thing I want to say. Like I could not.
So nice.
I could not have done this without my family.
No.
I mean, one of the other awful things that I said on that video was that I believed that my mum wasn't my real mum.
Yeah.
But I think I was getting confused because I was actually adopted by my sister's dad.
I think
so.
I was
so confused with all that.
Of like this. Yeah.
Yeah, but I corrected. So basically, when I got into hospital, I was in psychosis for 5 days whilst being in hospital. I mean, I was having a whale of a time because I thought we were on a film set.
Well, this is it, isn't it?
I had all people in there and staff in there in stitches, but then when I came round...
Moonwalking and everything.
Moonwalking round the garden. But the thing is, they brought props out, Elise. They brought blooming props out into garden.
And were quite a few of you in psychosis at that time as well?
No, I think,
you were only one.
Probably. I don't know. I was just in my own zone, mate.
I love it.
I was having a whale of a time. I mean, there were traumatic times in between, which I can vaguely remember, but...
Yeah, very kind of like up and down every day.
But when they managed to get me stable, that's when I thought, I put my makeup on one day, I felt good, I felt calm.
Yeah.
I thought, do you know what, I'm going to put a video up to explain all of what that was, because obviously nobody would have understood it.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and I got so many comments, and it's not about the likes, it's not about the attention, it's about, you know, just telling it about, you know, saying
you're advocating for yourself.
And
I think that's one of the main reasons why Becky wanted to come on the podcast to shout on the rooftops.
Yeah, I just wanted to
I have got bipolar, but it still makes me an amazing person.
Yeah.
You know, and...
So many people suffer with it, and so many people don't understand it, and that's why...
They don't.
You know...
I think... One of the most important things is to start understanding it. Yeah. And that's your journey throughout this last year, I think, has been really understanding who you are and you know, what's going on in your mind and your body. Yeah. And I think it's amazing because the turnaround in a year, Rebecca...
It's just amazing. I mean, one of my best friends, she won an award years ago at this event called the Simply Ladies Awards in Leeds, and she put my name forward for it this year because she was there. She was from my rock last year because she's obviously been through similar experiences. But yeah, she put me forward for the Agent of Change category, which was like being a bit of an advocate for stuff like this. And I put a post up just asking for votes and stuff like that. I got so many people saying they'd voted, and I won it.
Yeah. And
I won the Agent of Change. You know, I just still can't believe it.
And you still didn't believe in yourself when you were up for it. Because she said, I probably won't win it.
It's really...
But I just thought, of course you're going to win it.
Well, everyone was saying that, but then, you know, just because I have been very up and down still. That's one thing about my bipolar. I think it's ultra rapid cycling. Because at the moment, I'm in what's called... I'm not going manic like I was before or having the psychosis, but I am having a lot of the depressive episodes, which is what comes with bipolar type 2, unfortunately.
I think you're very like this from week to week, aren't you?
Oh, from week to week. It's like I'll still drag myself into work, but I'll just go quiet.
Yeah.
And like you've seen it before. Yeah. Even we've been to hot yoga together. I can't remember when I walked in that day.
I knew straight away as soon as you walked through the door. I just felt it.
It's like the only way I can describe it is I'm like a different person.
There you are.
I'm not open, I'm not Becky, I'm just really withdrawn. And being a hairdresser, for my job, I've got to like deal with public and speak to people. And if I'm you know, when I get like that, it's like I'm just masking it. I'm talking about the weather, or you know,
it's just cruel to have to live with. It's really hard to every day be so up and down. But I think definitely medication wise is still not there. Yours,
it's not right. No, it's not.
I think
I've been
be strong with them, Becky. Be strong with them.
Yeah, I think because I've said obviously this lamotrigine that I've been on, you know, since I was diagnosed 2 years ago, they've just kept upping it, and it's not doing anything.
No.
And I'm on
taking the edge off, isn't it?
Yeah,
but you're still very much.
Yeah, I'm on what's called
like
a mood stabiliser, so that's what I mean. Going back to the doctors putting me on antidepressants, it just, you know, sent me.
Scared,
I think really. The psychiatrist that I did speak to when I was in hospital said sometimes you might need a little bit of an antidepressant alongside the mood stabiliser, which again they still haven't been listening to. So because it's like one doctor says one thing and then you get another doctor saying another.
It's not good. It's just
I'm still fighting with it, but I will get there.
Oh, definitely. I think you're in a great place, Becky. Yeah. You are. And do you feel in a good place? Generally, when you look at kind of the turnaround in the last couple of years.
I do, definitely with that. I think that's the thing. I mean, I am waiting to start my therapy as well, which, you know, people have always said that I've got bipolar. It's not just about taking the tablet. It's about the therapy. It's about digging deep.
I really agree.
Sometimes you've got to dig deep to get to come back up again.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of deep-rooted issues.
Traumas, grief, you know, things like that. There's just so much that we just bury away or just kind of get on with, isn't there?
Yeah.
We don't really. I think it's processing stuff. We don't process. We don't have time to process out, do we?
No.
As women, we just got to.
Well, then you've just got to go.
Yeah.
That's still happened. Got to work.
Get up in the morning, carry on. It's like our health and our mental well-being is usually on the last of the list. And it should be the first. Genuinely should be.
That's what I mean.
I've learned that about myself.
I haven't been to yoga for ages, and you know, I need to just think, no, I'm not going to put a client in that day. I'm not going to do this that day. That day and that hour is for me.
Yeah.
Because I need to keep my head right for Rico.
Yeah.
You know,
well, this is it. Being a parent.
Yeah.
Again, that's, you know, something else. Being a parent and being so up and down, it must be so exhausting for you, you know?
I mean, my child, like Rico's got autism as well. He was diagnosed the same week that I got diagnosed with bipolar. I mean, he just could not write it. And I'm really struggling with that as well, because again, I don't want to put a label on Rico, because that's going to, at the moment, he's going through that stage of, he knows that he's got autism, because so many other kids are, you know, getting diagnosed with it, because there's been a lot going on with school. But I keep saying to Rico, it's okay, you know, you are amazing, you are you, take that label away, you are you, and you're going to thrive. And it's really hard knowing what to say to a child and appropriate words to you.
Because he's quite young, isn't it? So it's kind of like you say, you don't want him to be excusing himself for his any behaviours with autism, and it's you're doing the right thing, Becky, because you don't want him growing up thinking, well, I can do this because I'm autistic. I can do this because
I've got
absolutely not, you know. And you've brought him up to be a good boy, you know.
And his dad's really good as well now. Like we're co-parent well, you know. He has him 3 days, I have him 4.
But I think that's amazing, because you need that break as well.
Yeah,
that's one thing that comes out of any breakup. You know, honestly, I mean, it's not nice, family breaking up, and when the kids involved. I've been through it, you know, myself, you know. But you get that little bit of break, and I think as a woman and as a mum working and holding all this shit together, we need a fucking night off.
We do.
Like, literally. We just need to breathe.
Yeah, I think that's what I never did before. It would just go constantly. And like you say, I am lucky that I do get that break, because not many women do. I mean, I take my hat off to anyone that, you know, doesn't get a break, because, like you say, you need it.
Yeah, especially anyone having over one child. I don't know how people have. How do they do it?
Well, people used to be like saying to me, when you're having another, I'm like, I'm not.
No fucking
I love them, but I'm happy being an auntie now. I've got a lovely nieces and nephews, so I'm happy with that. I can have them and then I can hand them back.
Take them back, that's it. Yeah. So Becky, what's the next stages with you? You know, what's the next stages in your life?
Well, I just think I've just got to keep on keeping on. I do want to get involved in, just because I've won that agent of change. You know, I don't want to just leave it there. I want to use my experiences to help other people. Like,
I think that's amazing.
I've even thought about, I mean, I remember when I were in hospital, this guy called Jav, that, you know, they were so good in hospital. I ended up becoming friends with them. I mean, they've got a salon in there, and they even let me do some hair when I was in there.
Oh my God, you'll have thought you were Vidal soon.
Oh, I did. This one, when I were in, you know, this is when I'd come down from everything. They weren't giving me a pair of
scissors,
because it can be dangerous with someone with bipolar. But I remember saying, I'd love to come and do some voluntary work here. And he says, you want to be part of the team, don't you? I went, I do.
Becky, seriously, I think that is an amazing move forward. I genuinely do. I think, I do. I
mean, I'm still in touch with some girls that I met in there, and I, you know, was speaking to one of them on Facebook not long ago, and she'd sadly said that she'd gone back in there. She'd come out for a brief period, and she said, and I was saying about I would love to do volunteer. She said you'd be amazing.
Yeah. So the thing is,
as much as I love my hairdressing, and I love where I work. My boss has been amazing. Girls have been supportive, but that's just something else to add to the belt.
Really. It is. I think you'll get a lot personally from that. You know, you'll feel a fulfillment from that. Just being able to even just talking. To someone,
just like we're talking now. I mean, we have voice notes and all sorts, don't we? And we can
20-minute voice notes. But it just talking definitely helps you. Spreading this awareness is amazing. So Becky wanted to come on the podcast today, guys, because she wanted to show the world that being bipolar don't mean you're crazy, you know.
It's different words to use in
absolutely. Because a lot of times psychosis, bipolar, anything like that, people are labelled just being crazy, you know, and it's just not the case. You know, like I say, Becky's one of the nicest people you will ever meet.
Oh, bless you.
You are. And, you know, sadly she's had to go through experiences in her life that have, you know, been truly.
But I don't want to ever seem like I'm playing the victim either, because I know it can come across like that a lot sometimes.
I don't think you have come across that.
I just think, you know, sometimes events happen in your life, and it's like your body can only take so much.
You're definitely not a victim, babe, at all. You've never come across like that.
But I think sometimes, you know, when I post stuff on Facebook, I think, you know, a lot of people don't think, well, I mean, everyone will have their own opinion, but just to let people know, I don't do it for the likes, I just do it to spread awareness. And that's it. But I've always been.
But don't let that stop you from sharing things. It don't matter what people think. Even if small-minded people do think stuff like that. I have learned that more. Just remember that.
I think it's something you learn as you get older. I mean, I'm 44 now, and I think, you know, I'm so much more. Don't care what you think now.
No,
definitely.
You're advocating for yourself and other women that are going through this. And I think, you know, it's amazing. So I just want to say thank you.
No, thank you
so much for coming on. I know you've been so excited to do this.
No, I have. And do you know what? I'm glad that I've been in the right frame of mind to do it.
Yeah, because we've been panicking for months. Yeah. Like, am I going to be on a high or a low?
I never know from every week to next.
But, I know. Bless you. But I think we should definitely do a part 2. Let's give it 6 months. A part 2. Hopefully you'll have been doing a little bit of voluntary in that Signet place.
I'm going to give him a ring today or tomorrow, actually. Honestly. And just do it while it's fresh in my mind. Just do it.
Even if it's just like a day or 2 a month, you know, it'll just, you will get so much out of that personally. You will. So thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
Right, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I've thoroughly enjoyed having Becky on the podcast. So we'll see you again next time.
Thank you.